First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakha Kodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. And I have a few articles here, a few headlines that I wanted to highlight a little bit. As we know, there are things that are going on, and the MSM is not really reporting on these things, in which sometimes it seems as though they try not to until it gets it gets so much attention that they have no option but to report on these things. Okay, but as you can see, the first thing, this was from yesterday, which I made a post about it, but by Dabu7, it says, heads up, another fire, big spill of hydrofluoric acid into water near Tennessee-Mississippi border. Okay, and I'll leave the link to the video in the description box so you can access it there. But basically, you had that whole Ohio train derailment situation, which at the time, the main thing that there was in the news was this balloons chasing and shooting down balloons and so-called UFOs, which they claim to have shot down, and then now they say that they can't find the parts. They can't find the parts that were shot down, and all different sorts of things, so on and so forth, right? In the meantime, you had this whole situation in Ohio, which wasn't getting coverage, and yet that situation in Ohio is having very impactful and longer lasting effects. Okay, they're saying that people are developing symptoms. I forget there were some toxic chemical. I think there was a chemical bronchitis or something along those lines. People are developing rash. They're not feeling well. All of these things, and it's definitely not. I don't believe it's by coincidence that happened there. So a lot of different things have been happening. Here and there, here and there, here and there, and interestingly enough, the attention span of the average American is so short that they can only focus on something for about 5 seconds, and then that's it. They forget about it. They don't ever come back and look at updates or what's happening here. Nope. Okay, back to the Matrix. All right, but you also had today this article here concerning a partial train derailment in Manatee. Okay, and apparently this one was carrying propane. Now they say that upon initial findings, they don't believe that there was any leakage, but we still have to keep looking, right? So it says here, Bounds told WFLA.com, the tanker car is not leaking and it's safe. There were no injuries reported. The real potential will be when they come to offload the product. That will be when we really have to monitor the situation very closely to make sure there's no actual leakage, said Chief Robert Bounds. Okay, which like I said, these are just. It's interesting now that it's almost like if you pay attention to how things occur here in Babylon, especially, it's almost like you hear one thing and all of a sudden there's so many similar events that just start taking place. Like I remember there was not too long ago this whole for a period of time in the MSM, right, the mainstream media, they were talking about Asian hate crimes, and interestingly enough, as they started bringing that more and more into the mainstream media, that just became it's almost like everybody was just getting up and they just started feeling like committing crimes against Asians. All right. They talk about gun control and all of a sudden people just start getting trigger happy. Everything that they seem to talk about, and it just so happens to be like a season of that just happens to just sprout out of nowhere, and then that becomes the next thing. That's just all that's happening are these kinds of events. Okay, which is very, very interesting. All right, very interesting. Nevertheless, even amid all of this, you still have inflation to worry about. All right, the CPI and the numbers that they give you are most definitely not the realistic, accurate numbers. Okay, they're not showing you the real numbers of inflation, and even still with that, they're telling you that it's still too high to hit their 2% target. So that means they need to keep on raising those interest rates. What do you think is going to happen? Now, I believe it was the Dallas Fed that mentioned that they believe that within the second half, or I think they said the second to the between the second and the fourth quarter or so, or between the next two quarters, there would be a recession, and that the first wave of layoffs happened, but now they're trying to figure out who's going to be within the second wave, which is more than likely going to be a deeper, a deeper one. So this economy does not even look like it has that long because of the condition that they've artificially orchestrated and set up. It's literally a ticking time bomb. This place is on the edge of a cliff, and it's tilting the opposite. It's tilting the way of to the ground. Not the way it came from, but it's about to fall off the cliff. Meaning that all hell is getting ready to break loose. And people worried about Rihanna and Super Bowl performances and things of that matter. Okay. And at the same time, you also have, there's pretty much news happening on every front. Okay. More and more talks of these digital currencies, right? These CBDCs, which we believe is going to lead to the MOTB. Okay. We believe once they set up and push out this infrastructure and lay it out, it's only a matter of time. So it says here, and I'm not going to read this whole thing, but it says Bank of England says digital pound or CBDC, central bank digital currency, could protect consumers, and that is the push for the push for making this a plus, right? What are some good reasons? They always work with reasons. Problem, reaction, solution is the same thing. They always work with reasons, so they can always point you back to something and say, this is why we're doing this. And every time they get ridiculous with it, they can say, oh, well, but remember, we have to do this for this. If you take a look back at the past 3 years, when the lockdowns first started, what was it? It was we have to extend it another 2 weeks so we can flatten the curve, right? We need to mitigate the spread. We need social distance, and it's all very important. And quite frankly, this is a very unprecedented, situation that we're seeing. And if Americans don't social distance, you know, but where's he at now? With all this, the efficacy is very, very, very high. So where's he? Now they're reversing everything they said, but the justification was we got to flatten the curve. We got to slow the spread. We got to gain herd immunity. What happened to all that? What happened to all of that? But once again, the point is that they need reasons. They need reasons, reasons, reasons. And with those reasons, they can keep on pointing you back to it. Oh, no, we're doing this in the name of, right, for your safety, to save lives. Oh, my goodness. Oh, these people are hilarious, man. These individuals, these sheeple fall for it every single time. It's the same thing over and over again, just randomized a little bit, and they fall for it every single time. Anyway, let's read a little bit of this, right? So it says, Bank of England Deputy Governor John Cunliffe says a digital pound, CBDC, could protect consumers, according to a new Bloomberg report. Specifically, Cunliffe said that the implementation of a digital pound could ensure consumer protection in the event of a failure in the banking system. Cunliffe stated that consumers already live in an era of instantaneous bank runs, where depositors can move money quickly if solvency worries arise. The BOE, or Bank of England governor, reiterated that the implementation of a CBDC could give consumers a safe place to store their assets. It starts with all of it starts with these things, and then they're able to push forward more and more and more. But it's really just a matter of time. This is the direction that the world is headed in. All right, and soon they're gonna phase out the old way of doing things. Okay, but it's not to forget what time we're living in. We're still at the edge of all hell about to break loose, and people are going back into that mindset of they're going to that mindset of peace and safety. Okay, but things are about to get real shaky. Things are about to get real crazy out here, and a lot of people are not prepared. They're worried about the wrong things. They have absolutely no clue the level at which this thing is going to go down. Once this thing crashes, there's so many problems that are rooted in it that these people don't even those that are somewhat aware of things going south don't have an idea as to how bad, just how south it's going to go. And that's why the scriptures say, Ephesians 5:15, see then that you walk circumspectly, meaning paying attention, looking all around, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time because the days are evil. So understanding what time you're living in, what mindset you should be in, what kind of spirit to be in. These are all important things, because for those that are not redeeming the times, that are not walking circumspectly, that are not doing the will of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, you're going to get caught out there. Proverbs 18 and 10, the name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous runneth into it and is safe. If the Lord is not with you, you're going to run and run and run, but you ain't going to get in. And you will get caught out there. Now, if you look at that, here's another article. Is the recession already here? Okay, so things are happening, man. Things are happening. Most of it, they don't, it goes underreported, but as the Lord told us, we have to watch as well as pray. Okay, so Lord willing, this was edifying and informative to the elect. In closing, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham Yahushai, Bahasham Rakha Kodash, and until next time, Shalom.